Hello and welcome to another video, and this is my October through December wrap up and a very short and brief stats for that. So to quickly go through this, the first thing that I read was Cat's Eye by Margaret Atwood. I gave this 4 stars on Goodreads. And I enjoyed it. I wasn't too fussed on the ending of this, from what I remember. And the next book that I read was The Witness by Earl, which was 179 pages, and I gave that 4 stars as well. It was alright. It's pretty standard. I also read The Coffee Gets Cold, which I gave 4 stars. I really liked it. I can't remember where that is. I do own it, but it's not here at the moment. I also read The Uncommon Reader by Alan Bennett, which I gave 3 stars on Goodreads. That's not to say I didn't enjoy it. It was fun and silly, but you know, it's just a short thing, so you can't always judge them on the shortness. But never mind. I also read Homebody by Ruth, which I gave 3 stars. I enjoyed it overall, but it just didn't speak to me like our previous books did. So I say that it wouldn't be helpful to other people or entertaining anyway. But yeah, that was that. I also read The Good Bear by Sarah Lean. This was, I believe, a book of the month for November or December in 2021. For Waterstones, I gave this 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was lovely. And I also read Margaret Atwood Daily Poems, which I think I gave 3 stars. Yes, I gave it 3 stars. It was just okay. There was only a couple of poems. There was 4 in here that I actually dog-eared, that had any kind of thought process for me. And the next book that I read, I don't have a proper copy of, but it is The Hideaway by Sam Smye, and just seeing what I gave it. I give it 5 stars on Goodreads. This is a pre-release copy. It's an uncorrected proof copy that I got at work. And I plan to give this to my sister. It was meant to be a Christmas gift, but it never got put in her Christmas bag. So we'll get her eventually, but I enjoyed this. It was a very good read. It was emotional and you feel bad, but by the end of it, you're all good. And the next book that I read was The Red Notebook by Antwanda, which I think I gave 5 stars on Goodreads. Yes, I did. 5 stars. It was a very nice read. Very pleasant. I don't really know what to say, but I enjoyed it. I also read Killing for Company, The Case of Dennis Nilsen, and by Brian Masters. It was a good book. I was interested, I was entertained, I was repulsed, and also wanted to burn it several times. But it did get to a point, it was very interesting. 3 stars, just not because it wasn't any good, it was. I gave it 3 stars simply because it was repulsive and it's disturbing, but beyond that, I don't really have much to say on that. And the next book that I read, I gave 5 stars. That was When the Sky Falls by Earl, and this is partially based on a true story. During World War II, where someone had to stand guard over a certain animal in a zoo. I think the true story was a lion. with a gun just in case a bomb hit and the animal got out. And in this story, it's kind of similar, but it isn't, like, it has other things going on. But this one's a gorilla, obviously. And this book had me so close to tears. I did well up quite a lot at one point in this book involving the little boy. And I highly recommend this, regardless of whether you read children's books or not. I also read Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Tales from the Cafe, which is the second book in the duology. I gave this one 3 or 4 stars, I believe. 3 stars. I don't really have anything to say. It was nice, but it was just okay. And the next thing that I read was The Anthropocene, reviewed by John Green, but I have searched and I cannot find. I don't know where I put it. I did see it in the house, but I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. And I recommend also the podcast, where, like, it's very, very similar to the book, but it's entertaining. And if you're happy to buy the audiobook, which has, I think, some extra things in, then go for that. But I did get the hardback instead of anything else, which I was happy with. That was fine. But obviously the reviews were all familiar to me, for the simple fact that I'd listened to most of them online for these podcasts of the same name. And the next thing I read just before Christmas. That was 4 stars, and that was Greg the Sausage Roll by Mark and Roxanne Hoyle, which I don't have a copy of because I gave it as a gift to my niece and nephew. Obviously I enjoyed it. It was silly, it was all good. And I don't know what they think of it. I don't know if they've had it read to them yet, but I think my sister will enjoy that more than the kids, to be quite honest. The next thing that I have is The Song Rising by Samantha Shannon, and I think I gave this 4 stars. Yes, I gave this 4 stars on Goodreads. I enjoyed it more than I think than the last time, to be honest. This one's a good, pretty solid, like, story and things, to be fair. I'm not going to complain because I don't have anything to complain about. But the next thing that I have was A Shard of Soul by Bella Forrest, which was on my Kindle, obviously. I give it 4 stars on Goodreads. I don't have much to say about this one yet either. I'm just slowly catching up to the most recent book in the series. And I have one more book on this Kindle, so I will be 1 second and I will show you what that is. And that book is Madame Barova by Ruth Hogan. I gave this 5 stars on Goodreads. It follows 3 different people revolving around the same story arc, and it's just a really nice read, to be honest. It's not so much a matter of a big reveal because I clicked on who was who to who in regards to, like, the plot, but which is fine. That's not a problem with Ruth Hogan books at all. But anyways, I did enjoy that. And for a very quick, like, statistics, I'm not doing a lot for this because otherwise the video would be excessively long. And that is, the longest book is The Main Order that I read, which, no, it's not here. It's up on my shelf. Which I think is the wrong statistic entirely, so I'm not even sure what the longest book of this list is. The shortest was, of course, Greg the Sausage Roll, which had like 32 pages. The average length was 257 pages. The average rating was 4 stars. And the author ratio was 46% male and 53% female from the last 3 months, which I think is reasonable. I'm not going to complain at that because it's almost 50-50, which I think is really cool. And I'm going to stop this video here because I think my camera might cut out. So I'm going to see you soon, and I look forward to doing the next video, and thank you for watching.